But let's move into the next topic, and we are talking about our wet boys, the dampest of dudes, the soggiest of shooters, the moistest of men's. This is Wet Boys, the weekly segment where we talk about guys who absolutely went off in the past week, had historic performance, crazy stat lines, impressive, beyond the grave outings over the past week of games. Ricky, Widmer, start us off.
So for mine, it's easy. Luka Doncic. And the reason why is I wish I had the GIF that I put into our text where Luka just dropping the mic, because basically it's one game this week is why I gave him the wet boy. He is the first teenager in NBA history to have a 30-point triple-double, and he is the youngest player since LeBron James at the age of 20 and 100 days on April 29th, 2005, when I was a young high schooler against the Milwaukee Bucks, had a 30-point triple-double. That alone, Luka, congratulations, you're getting your third wet boy of the year and moving you into second place, tied for behind James Harden.
And he's tied with Anthony Davis and Steph Curry, I believe.
And somebody very important.
Just tell me.
Derrick Rose.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot we gave him 3.
He went on that run, man.
That's true. Dave, you also have a rookie for us.
I do. And it's funny, Ricky coming in. And
Luka Doncic.
For those of you who don't recall, our draft, last year's draft, we each picked a side on who might be a better player. And the trade went into it. And I went Luka Doncic, Ricky went Trae Young. And now Ricky, crowning a wet boy, Luka Doncic, and I giving mine to Trae Young this week.
Are you eating your words, Ricky?
I mean, a little bit. I've given him 2 wet boys. I mean, I'm
just wondering.
I'm not veering from it, though.
Well,
I was wrong.
I will say.
I'm glad you can admit
it's okay to be wrong.
It is.
I'm just saying. I wouldn't. Dave's out here giving him Trae Young a wet boy, right?
Yep.
Trae Young still has the ability to score. He just hasn't been efficient. He's on a worse team than Luka is. So, I mean, you could still hold the opinion that Trae Young could be better because it's guys up from here and Luka hit his peak. It's true.
At this point now they're in the league, when I'm just having a bad day, you know what Luka clip I watch? That 3 from the corner. When he's leaning out,
against
he's
Portland?
I just watch that and it just makes me smile. And I go, okay, I'm having a good day now.
Mine's still the game against Boston. We're just going to talk about Luka. Mine was the game against Boston where he was at the top of the key and he pumps fake on Kyrie and then he steps in. And, man, that was some shot. You want to share your favorite moment?
I'm literally, I need to step back 3.
Yeah.
Any one of them.
Those
I
fun.
could watch any of them all day. Just keep it on a loop.
The first one was great because no one expected it.
And he just looks so happy out
God.
there.
He does.
He just looks so happy.
7-Eleven, man.
That's
Always
the one
open?
thing is I do feel bad for him because he lost DeAndre and he just seemed to just really vibe with DeAndre Jordan.
Don't worry, he's got Kristaps now.
Kristaps might not be playing.
But
So-
still,
Have
that
him eventually.
chemistry.
Hopefully. Anyways, we'll go to my wet boy, and it is.
How we just skipped over
I was
Trae
saying,
Young. It's like he's the wet boy,
he's a wet
nothing
boy.
about him.
He put up numbers.
But that's the
There's
thing
a
is, like,
screen.
in what he's been doing this at least assist numbers wise.
Well, assist, yes.
a ton.
Efficiency.
But that's what I was gonna say. He hasn't been efficient. He's been shooting the same amount of shots.
The
he
man's
just wasn't
gonna
efficient.
chuck. That's what they brought him to town for. They're on a trash team.
Chucker's
He's
gonna
there to
chuck.
chuck. It's him, Kevin Herter. They're gonna go out there. They're gonna take their shots. John Collins, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I
Probably should have been an All-Star, or at least
that
probably
man,
should have been on the snub list.
That man's strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's
And
Trae Young, great
spoiler alert with Trae Young, because their game ended. I know this doesn't play into this, but 28 points tonight on 9 of 20 shooting, the same as Kyrie.
Hey.
5 of 10 from beyond the arc.
That's great.
9 assists. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, how many turnovers?
He had 2 turnovers.
That's incredible.
That's pretty great.
That's one fucking
So-
game from Trae Young.
Trae Young.
And they lost.
Oh yeah, they got
good.
rolled by the Jazz. But Trae Young, keep it up. Like it's encouraging to see this because as much as I love Luka Doncic, I want to see you succeed in the NBA still. I don't want you to be a scuff version of Curry.
That's the thing. I thought he was going to be a bust. I think I said I thought it was going to be a bust.
Yeah.
I think I said boom or bust was the thing I kept saying about Trae Young. I didn't say I didn't like him. Like
I remember
he's fun
your
to watch.
face when Brandon and I had the segment of could Trae Young be the #1 overall pick? Yeah, you did that. You rolled your eyes like that.
I still feel it.
It was so obvious that it should have been Luka Doncic.
Or DeAndre Ayton. Or fuck Marvin Bagley.
I was like, DeAndre Ayton did go #1.
Yeah. And Luka's clearly the better player than him. And was the better player last year, too.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Anyways, we're going to mine. This guy was not a #1 pick. He was not a #2 pick. He was a #3 pick, I believe, right? Or was he 5? 3.
3. He was 3.
Yeah.
Because KP was 4.
Jaleel Okafor has had a resurgent career.
Ja.
I mentioned him last week. I didn't give him a wet boy. He had the most efficient 3 games of his career last week, putting up like 17 points on like 60% shooting. Well, fuck it. He came in the next 3 games and put up 22 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 2 blocks a game, on 67% shooting from the field, and 90% from the line. 90% for Jaleel Okafor from the free throw line.
I feel good
Absolutely
shipping
incredible.
AD out of town knowing that Ja's got our back.
You got the centerpiece.
You want to know
That's-
why? Because Ja will provide.
And yeah.
found
But here's the other thing too. You know, when you were bashing on the Amir Sheik trade, right? You know, that one didn't work out. You need to find places for cast-offs. And Jaleel Okafor was a fucking cast-off, and this guy is balling out. It's been fun to watch.
It's funny because like the Knicks picked up every bad player from what was it, like the 2014 draft or something,
2015 was
the Mark
this
Hezonja
draft.
year,
Yeah.
and you know, like they went out and they took shots at all these young talented players at the top, and you know, Ja was not one of the guys who got the invite.
No.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they got Hezonja was invited, Amudia was invited. Who else was invited?
Well,
Was
they
anyone
had
else?
Frank already.
Well, no, Frank wasn't from this draft.
Oh, okay.
They drafted Kristaps.
Yep.
Kristaps was in that draft.
I knew that
the only
they-
2
they-
guys.
they
They had
top
3 guys
heavy.
though. Yeah, they had 3 guys from that draft
Yeah.
that ended up being on the team. But the thing that I've just absolutely loved from Jaleel is, I mean, he's been super aggressive, offensively rebounding. He's been great on pick and rolls. The one thing that I have liked a little bit too is his passing ability isn't the worst, and he's decent at driving in from outside. He doesn't have a shot. I just think he's like, and I know this is a horrible comparison.
Yeah.
But in some ways, I do see him. I mean, again, I think this is a horrible comparison. So
But
do not
make
take
it.
this.
I need you to make it.
A very bad version of Nikola Jokic.
What?
I don't know, because he has a big body, right? He makes most of his money in the paint. He's a decent driver like Jokic is.
Yeah.
He's not a shooter like Jokic. He's not a passer like Jokic.
Correct.
But at least just from, let's say, the top of the key when they're driving, they're like the same player.
Sean used words there.
Did I not say this is a horrible comparison?
You need a fancier way
Like-
to say like we say for Buddy, where he's big like Clay, shoots like Steph. You need a better way to make
The
that
problem is that
comparison.
like Ja's known for being the black hole of offense. Like the ball goes in and it doesn't come out, and Jokic is literally the opposite.
Jokic is Jackie Moon. No,
got
you
it.
take it. No, I got it. No, you
You
take
take
it.
it.
No, I got it. No, you take it. All right, I'm gonna score.
He's big like Jokic.
Didn't Jokic have a tripped up this week too?
I don't know.
He did.
I
I
just
was
know
gonna give it to him. I
Jokic
totally
did the
forgot.
Jackie Moon, like exactly Jackie Moon.
Big,
pretty great.
big like Jokic, bad like Kobe. Thoughts?
No.
Okay.
I think.
Fuck Kobe.
I mean, you're talking Kobe Bryant, by the way, right?
Ooh, how about this? Yeah, go. What other Kobe's are there?
I can't endorse that. I
Big
cannot
like
endorse
Jokic.
that.
Jokic, bad like Hezonja. Is that better?
I like
Big
this
like
idea. I
Jokic,
just don't
bad
wanna
like
be-
You're gonna have to go
Vansky.
back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we'll have
whatever.
to we'll have to shelf that one for a bit.
Again, I said it was horrible. But the big thing is, if you see the thumbnail, we need your help because we have talked on this podcast that James Harden is an automatic wet boy, and right now he has not been put into the slot of his 8th wet boy because I personally think that he is not valuable enough to be a wet boy this week. Dave is on the fence of him being valuable this week. So Ricky, your job is to read the stat lines. Dave will make his argument. I will follow up. It's a little point, counterpoint. There's no other thing. So you make your argument. I make my argument.
So
That's
I'm
it.
reading
and
the
then
wet.
you vote.
I'm basically reading the wet boy thing, right?
Yeah, you read the stat sheet.
Okay.
And then everyone that's watching this either tweet at us saying Harden should be or should not be a wet boy, or put it in the YouTube comments down below.
I will say this, and this is it: 37 points per game, 8 total rebounds, 6 assists, 40% from the field, 28% from 3-point. Who wants the floor first?
Dave's going first.
I will take the floor first. Thank you very much. The number that Sean left out of there was 95% from the line, where the man makes his money. That is what James Harden does.
You got to do it, Dave. You got to do it if you're
I ain't
fighting
gonna
for
do it.
James
You
Harden.
gotta do it. You gonna do it.
You got to eat, Dave. Everyone eats.
That stat line is still the best stat line of the week. No one else beats that. And just because it wasn't over 40, you're like, he's sort of old news now. I feel insulted on James Harden's behalf. The fact that he is out there dropping ridiculous numbers and still, they won 2 out of 3. I get the New Orleans game was a weird loss. I have no idea how they lost that game.
Because Ja will
Actually,
provide.
I know how they lost, but it was just bad.
Mm-hmm.
James Harden is elite, and he's been the best player in the league the past week, which is what, in my mind, it's one of the things, Wet Boy, we're here to point out, look how good this guy is. And I think that, yes, his performance has still been historical. He is still on the crazy run of games over 30 points. I don't understand.
Which could end tonight. Now we'll get there.
I just don't understand how that can be disrespected when a man is record-setting out here.
Here's the thing that I will say. Do not get there, because that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the past week, right? We're talking about the past week. And yes, he's still on a historical run. But who doesn't know about James Harden right now? We get it. He's still been the best player. I'm not saying he hasn't been the best player this week, but that's not what this award is. It's not MVP. It's not best player.
Really?
It's historical performance. It's Wet Boys. And guess what? You know what's not wet? Losing to the Pelicans. You know what's not wet? Only beating the Magic by 2. That's not wet right there. You know what's not wet? Turning the ball over near 5 times a game.
Is carrying
and guess what?
team on his back. I'm sorry. You
and
let me go. I'll let you go.
You know what's not wet? Dave, you're an ignorant slut. Sorry, I just want to go back to the original point counterpoint where Dan Aykroyd calls Jane Curtin an ignorant slut. You know what's not wet? Shooting 14 threes a game and only going 27.9% from beyond the arc. You need to be better. And his best performance was 33% from 3, 4 of 12, and 6 of 18. You have to stop hurting your team like that. You cannot do that. And here's the thing is, we just went from James Harden 2 weeks ago, 51 points per game, then down to 48 points per game, and now down to 37.
A pedestrian 37.
He's fallen off. And you can give it to a guy like Nikola Jokic this week, who had a better field goal percentage, who had a worse three-point percentage, had a very similar free throw percentage at 91%. However, it wasn't at the volume of James Harden, but 25 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, 7.7 assists per game, and 2.3 turnovers. He had a better assist to ratio turnover. He won all 3 of his games. And your big thing of how many steals per game did James Harden have?
I think it was like 1.7.
Oh, yeah.
1.7 steals, 1.7 blocks.
2.7. 2.7 steals last week over the past 3 games. And a game score of 25.8. Harden had 26.6. So very close game scores if we're talking about best of the week. And here's the other thing. Jokic, plus minus 12.7. Harden, negative plus minus 4.7.
I'm sorry. Does Jokic have a team built around him? I'm confused.
It was point counterpoint.
Because James Harden doesn't.
It was point counterpoint.
He's got a crippled Chris Paul.
It was point counterpoint. That is all.
Also, his true shooting's still better.
It was point counterpoint, and that is all.
Regardless of his terrible shooting.
Point counterpoint.
Still
Shut up, Dave. You're getting rickied. Both of them are muted.
This is my mic. Thank you very much.
Let us know what you think. Should James Harden be
the mediator doesn't get to come in?
You're the mediator.
I don't get to say
no, it's point
counterpoint.
Not point counterpoint mediator.
I had an outside the discussion.
No, you can't influence him.
Dang.
No, it has nothing to do with the thing that I would say is, Dave, I get your point. Sean, I get your point. This is why I have gone back and I haven't fought it, because Wet Boys is we can do whatever we want with it. But this is why I did not want to start doing, if you think James Harden deserves a Wet Boy, give him a Wet Boy. There it is. If you think he's a Wet Boy, Sean, give him a Wet Boy. Dave, you think he's a Wet Boy? Give him a Wet Boy. This is why I have, from the beginning, have not liked here's our 3 Wet Boys, and then James Harden. We created this problem, but now they can vote.
Okay. We'll just say Nikola Jokic, 23 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, and they're currently beating the Rockets 119-104.
And James Harden, if he doesn't score over 30, I will say will not be a Wet Boy next week.
21.6 of 7 from the field and 4 of 10 from 3. So, but let us vote. He can still be a Wet Boy for this week, but we need your votes. If you think he shouldn't be, let us know. If you think he should be, let us know. Your silence is still a vote. I will say that. Let's move now to fantasy. We'll make this quick. We are in 4th place, 89 points. I fucked up a little bit. I benched Nerlens Noel, but I don't think it hurt us too much because he shot 33% from the field. He did have 3 blocks, which would have been helpful. But Trae Young balled out. Yeah. So that was great to see.
What boy?
Yes, and we are in fourth place.
Still has Dave's mic off.
Oh. We're in fourth place.
Just keep it off.
Dave's like, yeah, nothing.
Fourth place in field goals made, field goal percentage. We are ninth. Free throw percentage, we are ninth. 3-pointers made, we are third. 3-point percentage, we are seventh. Rebounds, we are 13th. Assists, we are third. Steals, we are first. Blocks, we are below because there's a tie. So we are close to, well, what we would be, because the tie there, we're about like sixth in blocks. And then points, we are fifth.
I think my favorite part of the segment is watching Sean try to do basic math for about 60 seconds straight.
You want to do it?
You can just write the numbers down ahead of time, so that way you can just read it off straight.
Well, here's the other thing, by the time we got to this, I would think you'd have them memorized.
Here's the other thing.
Like the 9 assists, 8
exactly.
Here's the other thing, too. You guys pull up the fantasy thing?
I literally haven't signed into it ever.
Yeah.
Never.
Rick, you got pulled up?
Yeah, I do.
He does.
Okay. All right. You passed.
I always
like
do.
You know, you're my favorite this podcast. Dave's been too bitchy.
Every time we do fantasy, Dave does one of these. I'm sorry for my audio listener. Yeah, he just leans and looks at my screen.
Yep.
We've given Dave the password.
Twice at least.
More than twice.
That.
As I said, at least.
But Ricky, you I think you have some
please,
trades to bring us because our boy Kyle Craig was throwing out some trades.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
I
email.
can't remember what they were.
Well, that was the cue to pull them up.
I
believe
You delete the emails.
well, in my personal, because I get
Kyle, our boy Kyle Craig, who's Philadelphia 76ers, who's currently in first place, wanted Malcolm Brogdon for us. I know
he wanted Emmanuel Mudiay at first. It was Mudiay for Brogdon, and then you declined it, and he added in.
No, I didn't decline it. I didn't touch it.
Then you didn't touch it, and then he added in the name
Fournier.
that you said, Fournier.
So Fournier and Mudiay for Brogdon.
It's a lot of A.
The thing that I would say for that is field goal percentage, Brogdon dominates, and that's something that we have been struggling at. Free throw percentage as well, he's been dominant. And over the past, through the season, he's good for a 3-pointer and a half made per game, 4.6 boards, 3.7 assists, about a steal per game, pretty much no blocks. 15.7 points. Last 7 games, though, about a 3.5, 5.7 boards, 2.7 assists, same steal point, but also 16 points per game. He's extremely consistent. I just don't feel like trading him just because.
No, Moutier's out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, and then I think Fournier hasn't been great either.
You know what I would have done, and Kyle, you would have hated me for this, and good thing I let, you run the team. Mm-hmm. I would have looked at that and trade and basically been like, nope, and would have offered him Malcolm Brogdon for LeBron James.
The disrespect.
Knowing that he would say no. Knowing that you would say no, Kyle. That's what I would have done if I was actually running the team.
Ricky slaps trades in the face. Is that you just?
That
you
was my way of saying
to our fans?
no. Here you go.
It wasn't that bad.
No, but I would. Let's see if he'd offer LeBron James for. No, I know he would.
See counter offers.
It's a counter offer.
Well, here's the players that he does have. Because
the thing that bugs me when people don't counter offer.
Well, we should counter offer, and we were just waiting for this. I think the guys that he has: Jared Allen, Robert Covington, Drew Holiday, Mudiay, Jeff Green, Serge Ibaka, Eric Gordon, Rudy Gobert, LeBron James, Bogey from Sacramento, Evan Fournier, and De'Aaron Fox. If I'm looking at this and I'm going after a player, I kind of want Robert Covington. He's still out, but he should be coming back soon. I like Rocco because we're going to try to get up our blocks and our steals. He's not great for field goal percentage. He's at 43.1%, and free throw percentage is at 76%, which I do not love. But maybe we go after, as well, a guy like Jeff Green. Jeff Green hasn't been a star at all, so he's not going to be a huge value.
Is Eric Gordon too much of a name to go for? Is he too much out of the reach of a Malcolm Brogdon?
He's inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. And with Chris Paul coming back, I don't know if I really want him, per se.
Looking at his past few games, he hasn't done bad.
Yes.
And tonight he's got 17.
But that's because I think Chris Paul coming back will hurt him because he hasn't been bad in the past games, but Chris Paul's only been back 2 games. I would look at Jeff Green, though, because Jeff Green does have decent efficiency.
He's actually been playing really well.
12 points, 4.6 boards, 1.8 assists, and then 47% from the field, 89% from the line. And it's not like he's shooting a ton of volume.
You said we needed blocks and steals, though?
Yeah, and Rocco. is a monster.
Yeah, and
Rocco's the only when he was healthy, he was the only player in the top 20 for
if we
Baltimore.
trade for Jeff Green, I don't think he's helping us with blocks and steals.
Oh,
'cause
No,
he's
but
a-
Rocco is.
Yeah, no. Oh,
And then Jeff Green makes up for the
we would
efficiency
try to get
problems.
both of those. Is what
Yes.
you're saying. Okay. I thought you were saying one or the other.
For Brogdon, because Brogdon's massively efficient.
Brogdon's a stat monster.
How long is Rocco out for?
He should be back soon.
Okay.
Is what he will remain out Saturday
It's
against
the-
Denver. Covington, who's been sidelined since December 31st with a right ankle bruise, has been making strides at a possible return soon. He did some light shooting following work, so he should be in
Post
line
All-Star
for-
break, likely.
So I think we should make that trade offer.
Yeah. I like the counter.
Let's throw it out there. We do need to try to get into first place because right now we're in
Hey,
fourth,
we're in
and it
fourth.
doesn't mean
We're
anything.
climbing.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything if we're not at first.
Yeah,
So
that's what I like to hear, Sean. That's
Ricky
why
Bobby him.
That's why I have you as the GM of this team.
I made the league.
Sean's got that Ricky
Well,
Bobby mentality.
I'm the
I love
owner.
it.
I'm the owner. You're the GM.
How's
Pay
that
the
feel?
league fines or
Hey,
the
I set up
league
the
fees.
I set up the ESPN account.
You did do that, but I'm also going to give half credit to Mark.